Hi guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing for the WEC Replica Championship on Project Cars 2. This is round 2, race 2, getting ready for a start. Footman on pole in the LMP1 class. Then we've got Bidzster on pole for the GTE runners. Getting ready for a start as we come down towards the line. I think Neil Farmack spun in the background already before the race has even started. And as we go back to the front, lights out, away we go. Footman with a good start there. Not a few people out of position at the start, but shouldn't affect things too much. As we go down to the first corner, Footman in the lead. Stack around the outside, a bit wide there in the Toyota. That's not going to do him any favours when it comes to the grip. Meanwhile, Neil's tagged onto the back of the fray after that spin at the first, before the race even started. But Growly Bear in the lead then as we go up towards up the hill. So Footman lost out to Growly Bear down the hill, but Footman's attacking back now. Footman goes to the outside down towards the chicane at the end of the Camel Straight. Footman moves out, and I think he might even get the move done before the corner. Onto the brakes, Footman in the lead of the race. Growly Bear in second place. And then we've got Blakeney third, Keith fourth, Stacker in fifth around here somewhere. There he is. And meanwhile the GTE boys are just coming towards the end of the Camel Straight into the chicane. So Callum in the lead of that from Bidzster, a very sideways Bidzster in the background there. Then TY James Deluxe being passed by Neil Farmack in the background as well. No Arzadar Blade in this one because the hybrid has played up on that Marek again. So unfortunately the transition from the Corvette to the Marek is still not sorted, and Arzadar Blade not able to join this race as Footman and Growly Bear both simultaneously go wide, but they both maintain the gap to each other as you go down to the Piff Paff section. There's Keith with Blakeney not far behind, and then Stacker waiting in the wings to pick up any positions as well. So they're close between the LMP1 boys as we go through here. As both Toyotas go wide in the background. Both Toyotas go wide. Let's try and get to them. There they are. There's Stacker, and Blakeney's rejoined just ahead. So unlucky for them two there, but Stacker's the big loser in that. He's lost out quite a lot as we look to stare at some trees, and then we see Bidzster on the back of Callum attacking him for that position. So both of them very close together. Bidzster right in that spray cloud of Callum, because obviously very wet conditions here at Spa for this second race. So it wouldn't be Spa without a bit of rain, because it likes to rain a lot in Belgium, in Spa. As we go down towards Blanchimont, Bidzster right behind Callum, right in that turbulent air of that Ford as we go round Blanchimont. Both cars go wide. Callum gets a bit of a squirm on, but both cars are aquaplaning off the road a bit there. As we watch Neil Farmack does it as well, and so does James Deluxe, but everyone finding the bearings on this first lap. As we look back to Callum and Bidzster, that very zoomed in camera there, but no way through yet. Callum defends the line. TY looks like he might be closing up on them as well, so that's one to watch out for also. Footman with a 2.1 second lead then after the first lap, so he's coming down the Camel Straight. You see there in the background Growly Bear in second place, and we've got Keith in third place overall, followed by Blakeney in the Toyota, and Stacker further back in fifth place. Then we've got the GT battle. Callum, Bidzster, TY, Neil Farmack, and then James Deluxe. That's the order as we go up through Eau Rouge. Good line there from Callum, also a good line from Bidzster as well, but the Ford GT will be a bit faster in a straight line compared to the Porsche. Then the main car with the top speed is that Aston Martin. That Aston Martin is really rapid on the straights on this game, really fast on the straights. As we go down towards the end of the Camel Straight into the chicane at the end, there goes Bidzster through. So he was working at the wheel there, just making sure that the car's getting some grip in the wet conditions, and slides the car out of that corner. There goes TY in the background as we come down towards the bottom of the hill, downhill into the corner, adverse camber. Got to be careful to watch the car slipping away from you. Bidzster keeps to the inside, right behind Callum, and squirm as both cars try and fight for grip. So I have to say that Ford GT looking a lot more stable than that Porsche, but Bidzster's not hanging around in that Porsche, trying to find a gap past Callum, keeping him under pressure. As Callum not phased by any of the pressure yet, and not budging an inch, not leaving Bidzster any opportunity to go through. Just riding his racing line and protecting his first position in class. So the pit window again, lap 6 to lap 13, even though this is one lap less than the first race because it is declared a wet race, so one lap is taken off the race distance due to the time because we like to get these races squeezed into 40 minutes if possible, around the 40-minute mark. So down the back straight, Bidzster in the draft of Callum. Meanwhile, Footman in the lead of Growly Bear by 3.7 seconds now. A bit more of a gap than there were before, as Keith's dropping back from Growly but pulling away from Blakeney. And there he is, there's Blakeney coming up. Oh, using a lot of curb for the wet, very brave stuff. And there's Stacker again. That Toyota obviously favours the curb in the wet conditions, so that's fair enough as long as it works. Meanwhile, Callum into the chicane. Oh, he's made a mistake and Bidzster's gone right round the outside. We didn't see how that started, but Bidzster's round the outside of Callum and straight through. So we'll get a replay on what happened to Callum there. Okay, here's a replay of what happened between Callum and Bidzster on lap 2 then. So going down towards the chicane, the bus stop chicane onto the brakes. Callum goes into the corner, just slides out wide on the brakes, and then hits that puddle on the inside of the curb, and then Bidzster just drives right round the outside and says, "Thank you very much, I'm on my way." So as you come back from that then, Bidzster round the outside of Callum after Callum made a little error into the corner. That's all that Bidzster needed to get that place and take opportunity. So Bidzster into the lead of GTE then, Callum down to second place in class. There's third place in class, Neil Farmack in the Corvette. James Deluxe in 9th, and TY at the back. He's struggling in that Aston Martin, not got much in the way of grip, so TY's gone backwards there. But again, that TY Blakeney Aston will come to life at Le Mans because of the straight line speed, so watch out for that, guys, as we watch Footman and Growly Bear. So Footman must have made a mistake here because Growly Bear's closed in by about a second or two, so he's within 1.3 seconds of Footman there. You can see the gap, you can visually see Growly Bear hunting him down in these wet conditions. So Footman needs to keep consistent here, otherwise he's going to find Growly Bear all over the back of that RWD. So it's RWD 1-2 at the front of LMP1 into the chicane, where there is a lot of standing water as the camera zooms in really too much, to be honest. So there will be a lot of standing water later on in the race, obviously, because the rain is just persistent at the minute. We'll have to see if that rain eases at all during the course of this race. Meanwhile, there's Blakeney in the Toyota. He's going through the last chicane, and then the Stacker's coming through the last chicane as well, the other Toyota. So remember, they're not teammates, because the teammates are split between the two classes. So this time, this race, the Stacker and Blakeney and co are in the LMP1s, and their teammates are in the GTE cars. So we'll just go and check on them now. So there's Bidzster, he's Stacker's teammate, he's in the lead of the GTE class. And there's Callum, his teammate is Growly Bear. So Growly Bear doing quite well in LMP1, he's second in class. There's Callum, still keeping close to Bidzster, but not quite close enough to start reeling him in properly. We go down the back sort of straight. Well, there's James Deluxe, he's just been off the road there, I think, so he's just made a little mistake there. Neil Farmack, obviously into 8th position, he's still in 8th position. So again, the pit window in between laps 6 and 13, so we're not there yet. But again, we've got to watch and see how these conditions change and see who can ride the conditions best. So far, Footman showing how it's done in LMP1. He's pulled out a second back off of Growly, so he's pulled out a second over Growly, and Growly needs to try and find a rhythm to try and keep with him, but Footman seems to have the upper hand on pace at the moment. So in LMP1, that's the status so far. And then Keith in 3rd position round here somewhere. There he is in the Audi e-tron. So him and James Deluxe teammates in this one. So he's in James Deluxe's Audi now, as we go into the end of the Piff Paff section onto the back sort of straight, to the back section. There's Blakeney, and going very wide there in the Toyota, and then out of that corner onto the back section. And there's Stacker about to do the same thing. Oh, very sideways Stacker. Very sideways out that corner, but gathered it up. Good recovery. On he goes around Blanchimont, and then we've got Bidzster still in the lead of GTE class, sliding his Porsche around that corner and then onto the back section and down the hill towards Radiant. And then we've got Callum, there he's behind, he's not too far behind, 3 seconds behind Bidzster now, so Bidzster's pulled out a good second or two on Callum there. And then you can see in the background, just coming around that other corner there, is Neil Farmack in the Corvette. So again, The grid quite spread at the moment, but again, that doesn't mean to say that things will change. And speaking of change, TY is in front of James Deluxe now, so James Deluxe must have made an error somewhere, and TY straight through. So TY in the Aston Martin up to 9th place overall, and 4th in class. So TY goes around there, and it looks like that car's handling a little bit better now than it was at the start of the race, which is good for TY. That's what you want. He feathers the throttle round the corner, through the piff path, and then approaching the back section of track. Meanwhile, with Footman! Footman's got damage, he's major damage to his car. He's gone right round somewhere, because that car is really damaged there. So we'll get a replay on what happened to Footman. Okay, here's the replay of what happened to Footman then on lap 5. So coming down towards Eau Rouge, catches the wall, and the game just all of a sudden just glitches the car, end over end contact, and luckily Crowley goes through, and then bang, hits all the aero stuff into the air, and then Footman rejoins, obviously a place down, and you've got it, and then the car looks an absolute mess. So after we come back from that then, the damage on Footman's car miraculously fixes itself, and that's just the graphics on Project Cars Sphere. So the damage miraculously fixes itself, but Growly Bear in the lead of the race then from Keith in second, Footman third now. Footman harassing Keith, wanting that second place, and then obviously he'll be chasing after Growly Bear, wanting his lead back. As he goes onto the curb, you've got to be really careful not to over-abuse those curbs in these conditions. As Keith slides, and Footman just about avoids him. Oh, lucky avoidance there, but Keith, he probably thought his Audi had turned into a Group B rally car then, but well held. You don't see many LMP1 cars slide and be able to hold it, so well done Keith, good car control there, but yep, back down the position, so Keith will have nice warm tyres now as we go into the chicane. He'll be melting that water away. As he goes into the chicane, Blakeney goes with him a bit too far into the corner, but again, not too bad. As we come out the corner, Blakeney spins! Blakeney on the aquaplanes on the water, spins round, and then he's got to watch out because Stacker comes round there, and and bless him, he spins again, and then it resets the car and then gets going. So Blakeney was about to do a couple of donuts there, so probably trying to entertain the crowd, spitting flames at that Toyota, and off he goes. So yeah, that's how you lose a position or so. So Blakeney goes around the first corner again. Just going to need to cool them tyres down and just cool the rhythm a bit, and then he'll get it back in no time. Meanwhile in GTE, Bidzster 4 seconds ahead of Callum still, so that gap remains roughly the same as the LMP1 cars now on to lap 6, so their pit lane window is open now, and Growly has got traffic. Growly's caught up to TY and James Deluxe at the back of the GTE pack, so Growly's got some traffic to deal with now, and this should be easy enough because he goes straight past TY there, and then he'll come up to the back of James Deluxe. So he should be able to get him just after this next corner. He just needs to be patient. Round here, get on the power on that hybrid system, and he might be able to make it past before the next corner. If not, he'll have to wait all the way behind as he goes up the inside into the next corner. Bit risky there because he's made James Deluxe react and go wide. So I can't just go for gaps like that. You need to make sure that you're going to commit to the move once you do it. So remember the GT cars, they get right of way when it comes to the racing line. Just to make it easier for for both cars, so then the LMP1 guy knows where the GT guy is going to go, and vice versa from the GT point of view. So Growly Bear gets through then, a little bit of fuss, but gets through, and there Footman closes right up because he's caught them up in a really nice place on the straight. He'll be able to go past this corner and then move out. Oh, but he passes James Deluxe off the track. I know it's a GTE car, but you're not allowed to do that, so we'll have to see what repercussions that has at the end of the race. So Footman passes James Deluxe, and yes, he was lapping him, but lapped him off the track, so that's not allowed. So we'll have to see what happens as Keith closes up now. So Keith closing up to that traffic as well. There's Stacker coming through the last chicane, and there's Blakeney again. That camera zooms right in there. I don't know why it does that, it's so off-putting. But yeah, the LMP1 guys with the pit lane window open, and now the GTE guys as well. GTE pit lane window has opened. Bidzster and Callum go around there. There's Neil with Growly Bear approaching him, so Growly Bear will pass him on the straight. And there we go to the inside, pass him cleanly there. There's James Deluxe with Keith behind him, so he's got the LMP1 in the GT sandwich, and now Keith will free himself up and go right round the outside of James Deluxe onto the back straight. So that's how that's done. So after all that then, Footman closes up to within 2.5 seconds of Growly Bear, and then gets Neil in a good place as well. So Footman having quite good luck with the traffic here so far, apart from the running wide and maybe causing himself a penalty with the lapping of that car earlier. But still ploughing on after Growly Bear. And there's Keith, he's just coming out that corner there, and then Stacker and Blakeney are amongst the cat amongst the pigeons with the GT cars just in front. So Blakeney's closed right up on Stacker here, so the two Toyotas close right up to each other in the traffic, and now they'll both power past that Aston Martin. And the next culprit for them is James Deluxe. That's the next one to lap for them too. Stacker in front, Blakeney behind with the lights ablaze, obviously trying to let the traffic noise there round this corner, and they both might be able to get him before the next corner. It's going to be risky though. James Deluxe keeps to the inside again. I can see why they both did that, and I can see why James Deluxe moved, but again, I would like the GT cars to stay online and the LMP1 cars to try and get round, but again, there's no harm done there. So Stacker goes wide onto the gravel. Blakeney's going to come past. Oh, almost contact. Oh, very close there. But and he's got Neil Farmack spun. He spins in front of Stacker and causes a massive pile up. Neil goes over and vaults over as TY gets involved as well as Stacker rejoins. But oh wow, that really was a big incident there. So we'll get some replays and some different angles on that. Okay, here's a replay of that major incident then, so on lap 6. So we're looking at Neil Farmack, he comes out that corner, Aquaplane spins, Keith lucky to go around the outside. So watching here, Neil is still trying to select a gear, turns himself round, watches for traffic, then gets the car straight, and as he gets going, the two Toyotas come round and he just loses the power, just spins the wheels up too much and then too much power, then TY comes through and just can't avoid it, and then Neil spins again. That's one angle, and we'll try and get some more angles for you. Okay, let's have a look at that from Stacker's point of view then. So he actually goes onto the gravel here, which doesn't help, and then his fellow compatriot in a Toyota goes through, and then Neil loses it under power, bang, and then Neil vaults in the air, then poor old TY. James Deluxe is very lucky, poor old TY comes through, and then bang, hits himself off into the wall. And now finally let's have a look at the angle from TY. So you can see the accident happening there, then we move across, and then we just don't move across enough, and then bang, straight into the wall, and then we end up facing an Armco. So as we come back from all those replays then, there's the slightly different shaped Corvette of Neil Farmack and TY behind with a couple of lights missing, but yep, that was a big incident. But couldn't be avoided really. I mean, everyone tried their best to avoid it, but that was just a complete and utter racing incident. Neil had just lost it, and then the other two were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. So unlucky there for them, as James Deluxe was one of the most luckiest people in the world when it came to that incident. I think it was either him or Bidzster, but yep, very close indeed. But as we go back to the LMP1 battle, Footman is still in the lead of this race from Growly Bear. In fact, no, Footman's got past Growly Bear. Sorry, Footman's got past Growly Bear. Just realised what's happened because of all that chaos that were happening before. So we'll get a replay on how that lead changed. So as we come back from that, Keith in third place then, and then we've got Blakeney in fourth with Stacker just behind. Stacker's in the pits. Sensible stuff. Get that pit stop out the way just then. And then we've got TY coming through, James Deluxe as well. There he is in the Porsche. So sensible stuff from Stacker to pit there. So Stacker has definitely done his pit stop now. So out of the pits he goes and on with his race. There's Footman ahead of Growly Bear. Still very close between them two. No room for error as they both run a bit wide there, but again because they both did it, there'll be no gain for track limits as Growly Bear in the draft, and Footman now got to be careful of the turbulent air around this next corner. Footman goes round, Growly Bear goes round as well. Will any of these two pit this lap, or will they go round again? So here comes the leaders. Will any of them pit this time? Footman goes round and Growly Bear into the pits. So Growly Bear chooses now to make his pit stop. So Growly Bear into the pits in this one then. There's Keith coming towards the last chicane. Will he be pitting this lap? Yes. Keith comes in to the pits. So pits for Keith in this one. So Growly Bear in the pits from and Keith as well. Stacker's coming round there. There's Blakeney, he's approaching the last corner as well. So we'll see if he decides to pit this lap. No, he doesn't. He goes round and any of the GT boys pitted. Callum goes round, Bidzster goes round, James Deluxe not there yet, Neil there as well, and TY further at the back as well. So no changes there then. So Footman goes round then. Footman in the lead of this race. 2 cars have pitted so far in this race. There's Blakeney, there's Keith coming down the pit lane, there's Growly Bear, he's just come out of the pits. So Keith coming down the pit lane there. Here's Stacker, so will any of these GT boys or Stacker pit this lap? So James Deluxe is coming to the pits. James Deluxe is in. And there goes TY. So now it's just James Deluxe that pits this lap then. So James Deluxe in the pits for his pit stop. There goes Footman around the exit of the pith path onto the back section of the circuit. Bit of a gap over Growly Bear now, but again that could change because Growly's in the pit. So again the timing screen here, this is where the timing screen gets a bit mixed up, but after lap 13 it should straighten things out. So here we go, we've got Bidzster here, and then Growly Bear can't get through. Blakeney goes through, but Growly Bear's going to lose time here behind these lot. I know it says Growly Bear's in the lead, but he's not. He's about second or third in class at the moment. So as we watch the GT boys then, Callum and Bidzster battling it out for the lead in the GTE class. So Bidzster catches right up to Callum here. And drifts out the corner, right behind him. Growly Bear can't find a way through here. Go up onto the back section of the circuit. This is where Growly Bear could make his move, but he's choosing not to. He's hanging back. Why is he hanging back? Bidzster's giving him space to go through on the inside, but no, Growly Bear doesn't want to take it. So fair enough. Bidzster will keep attacking Callum then as we go down towards the last chicane. Will anyone else be pitting this lap? Let's watch this battle as they go through. Bidzster tries to go up the inside of Callum here, no way through. Growly Bear still can't get past this traffic, but this will be his best chance out of this next corner. He's going to go through here, he'll get on the hybrid system and get the power down, but he's not really getting the power down very much. Now he is. There he goes, he goes past Bidzster and he'll probably pass Callum in one fell swoop as well. There he goes, running back into the front. So there goes Footman. Blakeney's just coming through there. I'm just checking to see if anyone else is coming to the pits yet, ladies and gentlemen, so just bear with the cameras a moment. Just going to skim through, just make sure no one's in the pits, and nope, no one in the pits yet. So we'll continue with the cars. Growly Bear's made a mistake. Growly Bear's slowed down all of a sudden. Very strange. We'll get a replay. Okay, here's the replay of what happened to Growly Bear. So coming down towards Eau Rouge, then bang, he does hits that same glitch again, and then whoa, the two GT boys there, Callum and Bidzster, very lucky to avoid in there. Well, that is a really weird glitch in the game, that. So Slightman Studios, please investigate. So as we come back from that very strange incident there, as Callum goes down the straight with Bidzster in tow as well, again. So again, Growly Bear's now got to try and get past these GT boys again, but look who that is in the background, Keith. Keith's closing up behind Growly Bear, so that's not helped Growly Bear out at all. So Keith, fourth in class, closes up. Right behind him. We look at Blakeney there, he's a bit further ahead. As we look at Stacker, there's Stacker. As we look at Keith, closing right behind Growly, and Bidzster and Callum still battling it out for that position there. So Bidzster right behind Callum. This is why these two can't get through, because these GT boys are still battling. And Bidzster pulls out, and Growly has to wait because Bidzster wants to go up the inside of Callum into the next corner. Onto the brakes, onto the inside goes Bidzster. But Callum carries the speed around the outside, no way through. Callum uses that extra grip on the outside to get through. This is another chance for Growly to get through, but Keith goes up the inside of Growly. He says, I'm fed up of waiting, I'll show you how it's done. This is how you get through traffic, sunshine. And then Keith goes, so Keith now is right behind Bidzster and Callum. So I wonder where Keith's going to try and get through, because Bidzster's busy trying to attack Callum here. So Keith goes to the inside. He's going to try and get the squirt. He's going to try and pass. Yeah, gets past Bidzster on hybrid power. So that's how you do it. And now he's going to try and get past Callum. And there he goes. So that's how you do it. And then Growly Bear thinks, so that's how you do it. I'll follow you through then. So then he follows through. But again now, Growly can't get past Callum here. Growly's stuck behind Callum, so Keith pulls away there. And Growly just about gets past Callum there and just does it before the next corner. So Growly Bear takes his time there and just gets through. So we all go around that corner there. And then Bidzster's in the pits. Callum's not, Bidzster's in. So Bidzster's in for his stop now. Bidzster in for his pit stop. So Callum goes round. Neil Farmack, where is he? He's further back here. There's TY as well. James Deluxe, I'm just having a little skim through guys again just to see who's pitted and who's not. Meanwhile, Footman out front. Don't think he's pitted yet at all, so Footman's not pitted yet. And Growly Bear goes up over Eau Rouge. Again, the timing screen will sort itself out after lap 13 when the pit stop window has closed. So just keep an eye out, guys, because the timing screen isn't necessarily going to tell the whole story here. Stacker there in fourth behind Growly, behind one of the GTEs, that's Callum. So come up to lap Callum there, up and over the top. He'll be passing Callum in a moment. There he is. Nicely through the chicane we go as Neil Farmack comes across the line. Bidzster out the pit lane now. So Bidzster's out the pit lane. Neil Farmack goes through the first corner. TY is in for his pit stop now. So TY in for his pit stop. James Deluxe. James Deluxe in a very battered car there. So something's definitely happened to James Deluxe there, so we'll get a replay. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to James Deluxe then. So goes into this corner here and then sideways out the corner and then into the wall and then bang. And then that's where we saw him with the damage on the car. So as we come back from that, Footman goes round another lap again, but again he can pit later on if he wants. He's got up to lap 13 to do his pit stop. Once he goes on to lap 14, that's it. So the end of lap 13 is his last chance to pit, so he's got a couple laps remaining to do it. So there's Blakeney, he's just got round the outside of Callum there, so Callum's still motoring round. There's Growly Bear onto the back straight, followed by Keith, so Growly's ahead of Keith again, so that position's swapped over. We'll get a replay on that as well. As we come back from that replay, Blakeney in 5th place, circling around again. Once lap 13 is finished, I'll confirm the results for you. Well, not confirm the results, but confirm the position so far, should I say. And we'll see who goes where. As Callum comes up towards the last section of track. Bidzster is back here. Obviously Callum's not pitted yet, so will Callum come into the pits this time? Well, the time will tell. As Callum goes very wide there, he's gone very, very wide and sensibly goes in to decide to pit, so he's getting his pit stop done now, but that's not going to help him making that mistake there. So that'll help Bidzster close up. So he's into the pits then, so Footman goes round, he's still got to make his pit stop yet, so that timing screen is more or less correct now, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got Footman in the lead from Growly Bear, who's the first of the ones that have pitted. Then it's Keith behind him from... James Deluxe goes off there, so James Deluxe making a mistake. Then it's Keith, then Stacker, then Blakeney, and then Callum obviously in the pits there. TY goes round, Bidzster is there, so Bidzster coming around the bus stop chicane down towards the hairpin at the first corner. Where's Callum? He's coming down the pit lane, so this could be quite close here as Bidzster comes down towards the first corner. I think he's ahead of Callum. It's just changed the positions over. There he is, there's Callum coming down the pit lane. So Bidzster goes through there, and here's Callum coming out the pit lane, and there's Bidzster just disappearing down the hill. So that mistake did not help Callum out at all, and Bidzster comes out ahead of Callum. As Neil Farmack's into the pits now, so Neil Farmack makes his pit stop. A bit of a later pit stop for Neil there, but at least he's done it. As there's James Deluxe, he's made his pit stop already, and there's Blakeney just ahead. Stacker's got behind TY now. look at Keith. There goes Keith in the Audi. Rally Bear just down the road. Is Footman pitted yet? Footman has got to pit this lap, or that will be a DQ if he doesn't pit, because he's still not pitted within the window yet. As I saw a car go off there, that was Callum. Callum's had an off, so Bidzster gets even more of a gap now over Callum. So I know it says that the other way around on the scoreboard, but again that'll update itself once the pit stops have done. So Footman, you've got to pit this lap, or you're in trouble. Growly Bear comes down the straight up Eau Rouge. Lovely section of corners there. Even in the WEC you can do it more or less flat in an LMP1 car. Fantastic set of corners. Stacker comes through as well. So again, this is the last time round for those LMP1 boys to do their pit stop. So I think it's Footman and Keith that have not pitted yet so far, I think. So if I'm not corrected. Oh, Footman sideways! And again, a fantastic hold. Some of the car control today has been absolutely phenomenal. Footman holds a massive slide there and scares the living daylights out of Bidzster, but goes through, and Footman should pit this time round. If he doesn't, then there'll be words. Down towards the bus stop chicane. Footman, will he go for the pits? He's going round. So unless we missed Footman's pit stop earlier, but Footman has not pitted yet, and the pit window has now closed for the LMP boys. So if he pits now, it's too late. So there's Growly Bear. Keith coming round there as well. There's Keith somewhere around here. There is. Just coming up to lap Neil Farmack in the GT car. So after this lap's completed, I will give you the rundown of the position so far, as Keith goes beautifully past Neil there, and on his way that Corvette, a lovely sounding car from that Corvette. There's TY. He's not having the best of races in this one, again not as really suited. The Aston Martin doesn't really like the wet weather conditions, but again he soldiers on. Oh, he slides there, but nice car control again from TY as Growly goes across the line. Where's Footman? Footman is still ahead, so Growly Bear in second place, Keith in third, Stacker in fourth, Blakeney in fifth position. There he is, going around the corner. Oh, spins on the exit, and he's got to he's got to reverse now. Careful. Hopefully checked his mirrors before he did that, and then continues on his way. So the LMP1 boys did their pit stop window for everyone now is closed, because Blakeney's just going to cross the line. So if any of the LMP1 boys pit now, it will not count towards a mandatory pit stop, as Bidzster goes round the long left-hander. Again, a couple laps left for the GT boys to do their pit stop, but I think most of them have done their pit stop. Just running through the order now. Bidzster's pitted, Callum's pitted, Neil has pitted as well. Then we've got TY. Oh, yep, he's definitely pitted, and James Deluxe. So it's just Footman, I don't think has done his pit stop, but we'll see if he pits this time round. But again, it'll be out of the pit window if he does, and it'll not count. And now he's still going round, so unless Footman made a pit stop earlier in the race, well, I'm not sure about that, so we'll just presume he's done his pit stop, but again, that will be reviewed at the end of the race. Growly Bear goes through. Oh, almost contact with Callum there, very close to contact there. So I don't know what exactly we're going on there, but unless Callum making a mistake, but or Growly being impatient, one of the two, but almost contact there between them two cars as Keith comes through in third place. Again, I've not seen Keith make a pit stop yet, so I've not actually got it down on the actual spreadsheet, so we'll see. Again, all these will be checked at the end of the race, so these race results that you see from here are provisional, because they could change. So if you want to see the actual official race results, go to the LPB Racing Facebook page, and it will be on there, the actual results. Blakeney goes through in 5th place. Bidzster in 6th place, leading the GTE class. So again, this is the last lap for the pit stop window, but again, they've all pitted in GTE, so that won't really make any difference, because they've all made the pit stops as they are anyway. As Bidzster goes through. Nicely done through there. Callum is only at the first corner, so Callum again a few mistakes in this race. Neil Farmack in the Corvette, running a solid 3rd position in this one. TY struggling in the Aston Martin, and then James Deluxe. Oh, unfortunately, is disconnected. So James Deluxe will get no points from this race, unfortunately. So disconnection for him. As Footman goes through, 43 seconds ahead. I'm still not convinced that he's done a pit stop, you know, but I'll check that after the race as he comes up towards the Blanchimont section of the track. This fast left-hander here. As you can hear, he does it completely flat in that RWD. No sound of a lift whatsoever into the bus stop chicane. And into the chicane he goes, and round again over the line to start his last lap. The Growly Bear there goes through in 2nd place. Again, nicely around the piff path. Again, not the most exciting race to watch this, but again, it's exciting from a car control point of view, and all these guys trying to keep these cars on the track in these horrible wet conditions. But everyone doing very well as Growly Bear comes up to lap Bidzster. Bidzster will stay on his line. Growly Bear will go to the inside. Thank you very much. And, Bidzster follows behind Growly Bear then. As we look at Keith, he goes through in 3rd position. So Keith through into 3rd. The diesel Audi heading his way up to the Blanchimont section. Stays Stacker in the Toyota. Stacker's gone off in the Toyota. Stacker's gone right off the track. So a mistake there from Stacker. And then Blakeney's not too far around here. There's Blakeney. So Stacker and Blakeney closing up on these last few laps. So that could be a little thing to watch out as the laps tick down. So don't want to do too many mistakes like that, Stacker, otherwise you'll have Blakeney all over the back of you. And Stacker comes up to lap Callum now after that mistake, and the nose cone on the front of that Toyota looking a bit disjointed and cracked. No harm done. We go round the chicane, and then Callum pulls to the side. Stacker goes through. Might as well just pull over to the side a little bit just to help him out, but again, no worries there as we go down towards the last horse hairpin. Stacker goes through there, nicely done. And now it's Blakeney's turn to pass Callum. Should be pretty easy. Get on the power. Up to the inside and straight through. Past Callum, who's still in 2nd place in the GTE class. Bidzster 17 seconds up the road. There's Bidzster. Oh, in fact, a bit more than 17 seconds actually. 22 seconds up the road for Bidzster there. As you look back at the Blakeney Stacker battle, so Blakeney and Stacker still, you can see there, both cars within the same shot, the 2 Toyotas. It's one more mistake from Stacker and he'll have Blakeney all over the back of him. So no pressure, Stacker, but you're going to keep going without making a mistake, as he does there over 2 wheels. Oh, touring car style endurance racing this. Over the curbs, right up on 2 wheels. That'll not do the suspension any good, but luckily we have visual damage on. So no performance damage on this championship, so it keeps everyone running nice and equal. As Growly Bear's gone off, Growly Bear goes off in 2nd place, so Growly Bear goes right off the road there. And you've got to watch out because TY's coming up in the Aston, but it'll be gone right before TY even gets there with the hybrid system. So Growly Bear makes a mistake there and loses yet more time. But again, Keith isn't too far behind because that's just where Growly Bear spun and Keith's just gone through there. So 10 seconds between Growly Bear and Keith now. So not far between them. So one more mistake like that from Growly and he'll have Keith all over the back of him. So got to keep an eye out for that as well. As he goes over the aquaplanes, over the puddles there at the last chicane, they are getting quite bad. As Blakeney comes up there with Stacker just in front. So we'll just go on board with Stacker here just so we can get an idea of how wet it is at the chicane. So we'll see if the actually shows us on the graphics here how bad the water is. And there you can see all the water on the inside of the track, and you'll see it here all on the inside as well. Got to keep to the middle of the road to be careful on the wetness of the road. You can't go too far to the inside, otherwise you will aquaplane straight on, and then you'll be visiting some very friendly marshals and a wall. So the wall isn't very nice, the marshals are usually quite nice. So Growly Bear goes through there in 2nd place in the class still. Again, Footman pending up, it depends on whether Footman actually made a pit stop, but that'll be checked after the race. So again, check the LPB Racing Facebook page for information on that later on. As Stacker comes up to lap his teammate, goes straight through. And off down the straight, and now Blakeney's got to do the same thing, but he don't think he's going to be close enough. He's going to be stuck behind the Porsche of Bidzster. So this is where team tactics could come in handy, because remember, Bidzster has just got to stick to his racing line, then Blakeney's got to get through himself. Going to come out of this corner here, Blakeney. Will Blakeney go to the inside? Yes, he does, but again, Bidzster didn't make it too easy for him. So that's helped Stacker out a little bit, probably gained a second or so on Blakeney with that. Bidzster still leading the GTE class. And there's Callum in the second place in GTE. Neil Farmack just coming out of the last horse hairpin, third place in GTE, 8th overall. Fourth place in GTE is TY in the Aston Martin. And then obviously James Deluxe is a retirement because of due to disconnection. So 4 people in the GTE class at the minute, and then we've got 5 LMPs. Unfortunately, due to Cyrex and Stevie having personal circumstances why they couldn't get on tonight, that's why there's less people, and also James Deluxe obviously disconnecting, and Azadar throwing in the towel because of the lack of hybrid in the Marek. So hopefully that will get fixed for next week, but we'll see if it can or not. There's Footman on his last lap of the race then, so I don't know how hollow this victory is going to be, because I don't know whether he's made a pit stop or not, but that'll be pending for after the race, but we'll just presume that he has. But he's driven a very good race. If he has made a pit stop, he's a minute ahead of the next guy behind. So a very good race here from Footman as he comes through the last few corners up onto the straight bit. He's got to go through Blanchemont and the bus stop chicane, and he'll be at the end of the race. Bidzster's leading the GTE race here as well. He's coming through the last chicane to start his last lap. Meanwhile, Callum's already been passed by Footman, I think. So yeah, he will. So Footman will be finishing the race, and all the GT boys apart from Bidzster have finished, but Bidzster will probably win, or definitely win the class if that's the case. So Footman comes through the chicane for the last time and comes across the line to take a dominant victory. Footman wins by over a minute from Growleybear, but again that depends on whether the result stays as it is, because it depends if Footman actually made a pit stop, because I didn't actually see it on screen, but we'll see if he did. So well done to Footman, he wins the race. Growleybear is going to be in second place if he doesn't make any more major mistakes, with Keith only 13 seconds behind. Let's have a look for who else is going to come across the line. So Callum is going to be definitely second place in the GTE class. Callum's second place in GTE, he crosses the line. So second place for Callum in GTE. Neil's going to be third in GTE, and TY definitely fourth in GTE there, even though he's made a little mistake on that last lap as he lets Bidzster go through, who is actually in the lead of GTE. So Bidzster will win GTE class as well. There's Growleybear, he's coming up to take second place in class in LMP1. Growleybear is going to be taking second, Keith will be taking third, and Stacker and Blakeney within a second of each other on this last lap of the race. So again, anything can happen between the two Toyotas. So we'll keep an eye on that in a moment. As Growleybear comes up to the chicane to take second place in class. Good result for him, well done to Growleybear, second place for him. Keith is going to be in third place in class for definite now. So Keith third place in class there. And then the two Toyotas in LMP1 are not done yet, because they're coming up to the last few corners. Again, Blakeney within drafting range of Stacker here. He's got to go for a really big lunge if he wants this move. And he's going for it. He's on the brakes. As Keith makes a mistake there as well. Keith's made a mistake at the last chicane also. But Keith gets going. He's going to be third. And Blakeney pulls out. He's going to be very close across the line. And it's just Stacker from Blakeney between the two Toyotas. Oh, amazing stuff on the line. So, wow, Stacker just gets it from Blakeney. Good finish there, really close finish. And here is the winner in the GTE class. Bidzster, he's going to come across the line because second place Callum's already finished because he got lapped by Footman before Footman crossed. So Bidzster comes across the line then to take the victory in GTE class. He'll be very happy with that. Flashes his lights in delight. Victory for Bidzster in that race, and that will put him into second place in the championship. And meanwhile, Footman will take the lead in the championship if that result stands. So here's Callum, and there's TY. He's about to come up to the line. He's the last one to cross the line. So TY will finish last in class in fourth place in class, 9th overall. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Just a quick one here, guys, just for peace of mind. Footman did make his pit stop. It was on lap 11. Okay guys, here's the results from that one then. So Footman wins that one then. A good commanding victory there for Footman from Growly Bear in second place. Then it was Keith who comes home in third, and then a very close finish between Stacker and Blakeney, who get fourth and fifth. So Stacker in fourth, Blakeney in fifth. The winner of the GTE class then is Bidzster from Callum in second place in that class. Third in that one is Neil Farmack, and then fourth would be TY, ninth overall. And then James Deluxe, a very unfortunate disconnection there for him, and Azadar Blade retired. And now, guys, new for this championship is the points results after that. So Footman now leads the championship thanks to his consistent scoring on 64 points. Then it is Bidzster on 58 points in second place. Then Neil on drawing with Growly Bear on 49. In the teams, Bidzster and Stacker lead the way on 99 points. Callum and Growly Bear on 95 second. Extra point for Bidzster and Footman with the fastest laps in both their respective races. So there's your winner in the LMP1 class is Footman there in the green RWD, and then the winner in GTE there is Bidzster in the Porsche. There he is in the Porsche going down towards the Oru section. So right then guys, we'll see you guys next week for the race which is round 3 at Le Mans 24 hours. So we'll see you then guys, take care.